This is incredible up here.
Oh my god.
What?
That's the Taj Mahal right there.
180 days, 28 flights, 31,600 miles traveled, 2 suitcases, 2 backpacks, 1 circumnavigation of the planet. A while back, Sydney and I decided to embark on a life-changing journey. We flew around the world in 180 days. This idea was inspired by the Jules Verne novel Around the World in 80 Days, but we also drew inspiration from a historical event we learned about during a visit in Spain. Ferdinand Magellan, a 15th century Portuguese explorer, was hired by the Kingdom of Spain to attempt the first circumnavigation of the world in human history. In other words, to pick a point of origin on a map and travel all the way around the globe, eventually returning to the point of origin from the other side. Since it's not the 1500s anymore, we realized that this is a journey we could actually embark on ourselves, and thanks to the invention of the airplane, it's far more feasible and far less perilous than what Ferdinand and his crew experienced. What better way to see the world than to fly all the way around it? We covered the full journey with a 70 video series on our channel, but here is a collection of all the highlights. We'll be sure to include timestamps, so feel free to jump around. So where to begin? Well, the first and most crucial decision during our planning process was figuring out where our point of origin was going to be. So how did we decide? Well, when your friend invites you to join them for a week in Hawaii, you kind of just have to say yes and start there.
From what we understand, this hike can be quite lengthy. It can take almost up to 4 hours with all of the pictures and stops and everything. It's about 5 miles round trip. So we made sure to bring some food with us. And here in Hawaii, if you're looking for food on the go, Spam Musubi is the way to go. You can pick them up at pretty much any gas station. We got these at 7-Eleven. This one's a teriyaki flavor, so I don't know, it just sounded good. These are really, really salty snacks, so it's gonna be good on a day when we're gonna need a lot of energy. You got the seaweed around it, the rice, and then the slice of Spam on top. It looks like there's a pretty good amount of teriyaki sauce in there. I could not think of a better snack to have for a hike in Hawaii. So far the trail has been almost a direct incline, and I'm hoping that changes at some point because I'm just picturing this for 2 straight hours and we're not really hikers, at least not experienced ones, but our friends are, so they of course chose this trail. But hey, I'm sure when I see these views, I won't be complaining. The one thing I will say that's nice about this trail so far is a lot of it is shaded, and I'm just imagining what this hike would be like if it was direct sunlight. It's about 88 degrees Fahrenheit today, UV index of 11. Very thankful for these trees. It's hard to beat this terrain. I mean, it's just so, the mountains, the greenery, seeing the ocean in the distance, the skyscrapers of the Honolulu skyline. It's pretty amazing here.
Turn right at the next exit.
On our way to the North Shore, we made a quick stop at Green World Coffee Farm. This place is so cool. There's a coffee field that you can kind of just walk through in the back, and they have all these really unique blends. One of them was blueberry strudel. They do a lot of coconut and macadamia nut, stuff like that. This is an iced coffee with coconut and macadamia nut. Oh my God, that is refreshing. The beaches on Oahu's North Shore can be hit or miss for swimming because of the strong tide, but it is one of the best places to find sea turtles. The turtles like the north side waters because it's one of the best areas for them to bask in the sun. It was my first time ever seeing them in the wild.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy.
Acai bowls on the North Shore, predictably really expensive. It was $30 for 2 bowls, but the fruit is so fresh. The coconut, the papaya, the pineapple. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a more fresh acai bowl in the world.
It's all gone. Feeling is all gone.
Another amazing hike in this area is the Manoa Falls Trail. This is more of a trail than a hike. It's not as much elevation and definitely not as strenuous as the last one we did. Truly peaceful and a great place for a hike. If you can hear that stream in the background, we're leading to a waterfall. That's where the trail leads. So as you can see, we've made it to the end here at the waterfall. There is a real effort to preserve this untapped nature here in the state of Hawaii, and I think a lot of times when tourists come here, they kind of treat it just like it's their own playground. They can do whatever they want. You've probably seen Sydney carrying the cans the whole time. We just want to make sure we don't litter, we don't do anything that would take away from this beauty, because it really is something special. And just in general, I think it's a good rule of thumb to try to leave these places exactly like you found them so everyone else can enjoy them and take it in.
While the majority of our time on the island of Oahu has been filled with excitement and happiness, this particular afternoon was quite somber. It was a powerful experience to visit the USS Arizona Memorial, which honors all of the lives lost during the Pearl Harbor attack on December 7th, 1941. This was perhaps one of the most pivotal moments in the history of humanity, and there is no doubt that the memorial possesses a palpable spiritual energy.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the Senate, of the House of Representatives.
One of the most interesting and touching pieces of information we learned is that every Arizona crew member that survived the attack has been cremated and laid to rest within the shipwreck upon their death. This allows them to rejoin their fellow crew members who lost their lives on that fateful day all those years ago. And the sunken battleship will eventually be sealed when it is accompanied by the entire crew.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost.
Bay is a preserved natural embayment on the southeast corner of the island. It was once the crater of a massive volcano and is now home to all sorts of fascinating marine life. The concept of snorkeling in a volcano sounded absolutely epic, and we couldn't wait to see what was under the surface. Believe it or not, this is actually the first time I've ever snorkeled in my life. The visibility underwater was unfortunately a little hazier than we had hoped because of the high UV and the wavy conditions, but we saw so many beautiful fish. Hanauma Bay's reef has unfortunately suffered a lot over the past few decades because of the amount of sunscreen that gets into the water from visitors. If visiting, it is extremely important to only use natural sunscreen that doesn't contain any oxybenzone. The reef's survival depends on it. Welcome to the Windy City, the metropolis of the Midwest, and our former home, Chicago, USA.
Chicago is truly one of America's greatest cities by any metric. Iconic architecture, eventful history, an abundance of events and activities year-round, all 4 major American sports, although I have a fierce hatred of Chicago's teams because of my Wisconsin roots, and perhaps some of the best food you can find in the country. Today we're going to revisit all of the neighborhoods we used to live, and just have a look around to see what's changed. Since we moved away, we haven't spent any time in Chicago. It's quite a nostalgic feeling to be back in a place that played a major role in our travels. We have arrived at apartment number 1, 1818 North Halsted Street. So this was our first apartment living together, and we really couldn't have timed it better when we moved in. We moved in February of 2020. And then a month later, the craziest thing happened.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
That was our apartment right there, that balcony, the first floor. We will always remember this apartment though, not only because it was the first place we lived together, but it's also where the idea for this channel was born.
You know, sometimes you have to have things taken away to fully appreciate how much they mean to you, and I think that's what's happened this year in a number of ways.
Moving in a month before the COVID shutdowns, we spent a lot of time in there. We were watching YouTube videos, just kind of longing to travel again when everything was shut down. And here we are 3 years later on a quick stopover during a trip around the entire world. I just can't tell you how nostalgic this is. This was our daily walking route. This feels so familiar, even though we haven't been here for years. It's just like you fall right back into the swing of Chicago. This is just a magnificent view of the Chicago skyline, which in my humble opinion is our greatest skyline here in this country. I love New York City to death, but it's just a little too spread out. You've got Midtown, then you've got the financial district, then you've got downtown Brooklyn. This is one beautiful piece of skyline. You can see so much here that's amazing because again, we're talking about the neighborhoods and how different they are from downtown. There's not a lot of tall buildings here in Lincoln Park. So the fact that we're on the roof of this parking structure, you can see everything in every direction. Sydney and I had a long discussion about what we were gonna do for pizza because with Chicago, everyone thinks about deep dish, right? Well, deep dish pizza isn't actually the authentic old school pizza style here in Chicago. It's more of just kind of the tourist hallmark. So if someone's coming in and's never been to Chicago, you say, yeah, let's go get some deep dish. But honestly, if you're talking about old school Chicago style pizza, right here at Vito and Nick's on the south side of Chicago, it does not get more classic than this. And even though I lived here for 4 years, I have never been to Vito and Nick's. I am so excited to finally check it off my list.
Oh my god, yeah. Good cross, right?
If you're just looking for your old school Chicago thin crust pizza, Vito and Nick's is absolutely one of the spots that you have to come visit in Chicago. Besides it just always coming out steamy, the crust is paper thin, it's crunchy, it's crispy. The sauce is absolutely flavorful, and you just get the whole ambiance of stepping back into time with the way that the whole restaurant's set up. It's just one of the best.
Welcome to Belgrade, the capital of Serbia. This is country number 32 for us and our 3rd stop on our 180-day trip around the world. Now you may be curious why we chose Belgrade, Serbia as one of our stops on this journey around the world. Well, if you're new to the channel, we actually spent all of 2022 hopping around Europe, and Serbia was one of the only countries that we didn't get to. We're starting our day at the Belgrade Fortress, which is currently under a little bit of construction, but still looks absolutely incredible. I love these medieval cities in the Balkans. We feel so nostalgic, like we're back in Bosnia, back in Croatia.
Since we're only in Europe a short while, we definitely have to check out the cafe culture. That is one aspect of European life that we miss so much. We're on our way to a place called Drip.
Really enjoyed our time at Drip Coffee. I just feel like there are certain things in Europe that are done a little bit better than where we're from. Coffee's included in that, bread obviously. Just kind of like the staples, you know, the simple things. They perfect the simple things really well. We haven't even looked up the tipping situation in Serbia yet. I assume it's kind of like 5 to 10%. It's always funny when you go to European countries, they're all different when it comes to tipping. So it's like every time you enter a new country, you have to reset the way you think about tipping. I definitely made sure to leave a tip over there though. They were really nice to us and we stayed there for a while. So always nice to do even if it's not necessarily the custom. Here in Serbia, they use the Serbian dinar. I thought it was dinar before we got here, but it's dinner like the meal. So that's gonna take some getting used to. I keep wanting to say dinar. The general rule of thumb, I think, for conversion is 100 dinar is about $1. I think it's like 92 cents. And I love the $100 bill, or 100 dinar bill, because it's Nikola Tesla. How cool is that? Nikola Tesla was Serbian, and there's actually a Nikola Tesla museum here in Belgrade that we are gonna visit later today. I'm really looking forward to learning more about this extremely impactful inventor. I just feel like I learned so much on that tour. You definitely don't need a science or engineering background to understand the significance of this man and his inventions. One kind of funny, quirky thing about it is that they told us that he actually never lived in Belgrade, and he was only in Belgrade for about 36 hours in his entire lifetime. So Sidney and I have actually spent more time in Belgrade than Nikola Tesla ever did, so it's kind of funny that the museum is here. But his ambition and his inventions led him to all of the most iconic cities in Europe and eventually New York City. I think my biggest takeaway is that we really have a lot to thank him for. This society that we live in now, this global society where all these big cities use energy. Without him and his inventions, it probably wouldn't be this way. It probably wouldn't be as efficient. His creativity, his mind, truly a one-of-a-kind person, and it's cool that everything is kind of immortalized in that museum. His ashes are actually in there, so it's almost like a memorial to his life. And another thing we really liked about it is it's so interactive. Full disclosure, the jet lag is really killing us right now. I guess we really did travel 10,000 miles in 10 days. We have not been able to stay awake for an entire day, and it's the morning, we're already starting to feel a little tired. So I think I know the solution. We're gonna try Nikola Jokic's signature energy drink, Joker. I've been seeing billboards for it everywhere. And when else are we gonna have the opportunity to try the NBA Finals MVP's signature drink in his home country? I hope this gives us what we need. It literally says no sleep on the bottom, so. The can is pretty cool. I'm not sure what the owl symbolizes, but it's definitely the Denver Nuggets colors. And you have the Nikola Jokic here, and then his signature. I'm sorry, Nikola, I don't really like that taste. That's very reminiscent of Red Bull. Maybe a couple more sips just to, the juice is flowing, but I don't know if I can finish that.
Glad it's definitely in a small can. I would try the other flavors though, like mango. We were supposed to get mango, and Max got the yellow one, which we now know just tastes like Red Bull. Oh my gosh.
This is the second largest Orthodox church in Europe. We've actually been to the first one as well. But when we went to the one in Sofia, we didn't get the chance to go inside. We are absolutely stunned by the interior of this church. I mean, everywhere you look, just beautiful artwork on the ceiling, on the walls. This incredibly bright gold color that goes all the way around. All of the Cyrillic script everywhere as well. This is just a very, very unique place, and I think it's really cool how anybody can just walk in and appreciate it. You know, a lot of times when there's these famous churches in Europe, it gets really touristy because you have to wait in line, you have to reserve a time, you have to check your bag at the door, things like that. Here the doors are just wide open and people can come in and appreciate it.
This truly is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. There are hundreds of thousands of tiny gold mosaic tiles that make up all of these paintings depicting Orthodox saints and other biblical figures. But the one that obviously stands out to me is, of course, Jesus at the back.
Luxury in Venice has officially begun. Ah, Venice. One of the most romanticized tourist destinations in the entire world. Everything about this place is iconic. The architecture, the museums, the gondoliers weaving their way through the canals. It's not hard to understand why tourists from all over the world flock to this island. Okay, we are all settled in here at the Londra Palace. The experience so far could not be more opposite from yesterday. It is just after noon and the room was already ready for us. We were kind of expecting to just leave our bags here, but we got right into the room. And they actually brought our bags up for us. We didn't even have to worry about that. A little different than the hostel yesterday. So let's go check in on the room. 420, love it.
Welcome to the palace. So this is a king room with a city view. The decorations are so beautiful, so ornate. They're definitely going with like the palace theme. It feels very regal with these drapes and this artwork. The view is absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh, we have a terrace. That is icing on the cake, baby.
This was a feature of the room I was not aware of, and I can't believe this. Not only can we see everything right in front of us, but we can also see St. Mark's Tower this way. As nice as this room is, the real upgrade that we're getting here is that we can just walk out the front door and be in the midst of Venice. So you may be wondering why we're going full luxury today instead of our normal modest budget. Well, Sydney's aunt and uncle, along with her cousin Samantha and Samantha's boyfriend Jordan, have come all the way from Iowa to explore the magical country of Italy. They generously invited us along for the ride, which means we get to indulge in activities we would otherwise probably not be doing.
Oh my god.
Chief among these is the iconic gondola ride. And to make things even better, Sydney's Uncle Frank and Aunt Julie made sure to book a gondola with musicians to serenade them along the way. As soon as we leave the docks and enter the winding canals, the atmosphere has shifted. It's quieter. You can hear the splashes against the canal walls. The music reverberates all around us, engulfing us in a scene that is likely not all that different from the Venice of the 15th century. Gondole, the plural of gondola, has been a means of transportation in Venice for almost 1,000 years, going back to the 11th century. The men who row the boats are known as gondoliers, and it's tradition that the sons of gondoliers follow in their father's footsteps. This isn't as easy as steering an old rowboat. The gondoliers have to learn how to navigate very tight corners, as well as constant two-way traffic. They often have to kick off from the walls to create momentum or change direction. Again. Venice has changed a lot. It's not what it once was, but as we were drifting through the canals in a gondola with the gorgeous melodies to serenade us along the way, it was impossible to tell. So tonight we are going to a restaurant that is pretty universally regarded as one of the best restaurants in Venice. Anthony Bourdain has been there. It's been featured in a lot of shows. We are so excited to go there and try some traditional Venetian food, which is pretty different from the rest of Italy. So we're very excited to explore what that means specifically. But before we go, we are going to get some aperitivo and just enjoy the Venetian atmosphere. Ernest Hemingway's drink in Ernest Hemingway's bar.
The whole class of Prossimo. I love it.
That's what James Bond got.
Yes.
Al Covo is the gold standard of Venetian dining, universally respected by culinary minds around the world. Chef Cesar Bonelli brings traditional Venetian cuisine to life and adds a modern flair, all while using only locally sourced ingredients. It was an absolute pleasure to experience it firsthand, one of the most memorable meals we have ever had in Italy. While the gondolier kept calling us to return, we spent the next day traversing the canals in a different vehicle, the classic Venetian water taxi. While the public Vaporetto water taxi is the most affordable way to get around, the private water taxis are considerably more comfortable. Seeing Venice from the water provides a completely different perspective, and really is the best way to appreciate the unique layout of the canal network. Italy's Amalfi Coast is one of the most coveted European tourist destinations, and it's no mystery why. The deep blue Mediterranean waters, the stunning cliffs along the coastline, the iconic seaside towns, and the incredible food more than likely contribute to this region's intense popularity. Like all tourist hotspots, there are unavoidable nuisances associated with the experience. This is especially true on the Amalfi Coast because of the rigid, unforgiving terrain. The transportation logistics are difficult, the tourist crowds are unavoidable, the prices are often exorbitant, and yet the undeniable beauty of this landscape is still impossible not to fawn over. We are spending a week in this magical corner of Italy to immerse ourselves in the full experience, the good, the bad, the inconvenient, and of course, the unforgettable. We have made it to the Amalfi Coast. It's kind of a viral idea on the internet right now that although this place is beautiful, it's very hard and very inconvenient to actually get here physically. We can definitely attest to that after today. I guess we were kind of asking for it though because we started all the way up in Milan. So almost a 5-hour train ride, even with the high-speed train to get down here. And then an hour and 15-minute ride from the Napoli Centrale station. So definitely not the easiest of travel days, but I am not complaining one bit because we have arrived in paradise. This is the Hotel Mediterraneo in Sorrento, and it's where we'll be based for the next few days as we explore this beautiful region of Italy. This is the one bedroom with a king bed. Very simple, everything we need. The main attraction though of this hotel room is the window view. The town of Sorrento is on the opposite side of the peninsula from the Amalfi Coast. It is directly across the Gulf from the city of Naples. It's a perfect place to stay, slightly removed from the tourist hotspots of Amalfi and Positano, but still well within range of all the attractions, especially via boat. Our first boat excursion takes us along the Sorrento coast in the direction of the gorgeous island of Capri. One of Capri's top attractions is the Grotta Azzurra. This natural sea cave is full of electric blue water that glows with reflected sunlight. The experience is absolutely worth it, but be prepared for painfully long wait times during peak hours. The entrance fee for the Blue Grotto is 18 euros per person, not including tip.
my God. I try, my friend, I don't know. Limonare. Arida.
Mamma mia, oh my God.
Here we are. Stop, guys. And look behind me, look behind me. Look at the blue water. We don't have artificial light here. A sunlight here to the entrance.
Because the sunlight reflects off an underwater section of the rock formation, it literally bounces into the cave through the water itself. This is what creates the glowing effect. It is one of those things that is 1,000 times more stunning in person than on camera.
Ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva. What should I do, guys? Don't forget, this is my first day. Here we are. How was it? Great. Everybody's alive? Look at this water. Oh, so beautiful.
Swimming in the Mediterranean water is an incredible experience. The concentration of salt makes it almost impossible to dive down, and floating on the surface is effortless.
Boat dropped us off on the island of Capri, and it's so hot out. I'm sweating through my clothes. We had to try the lemon sorbet. This looks so good. It's served inside a lemon. What's great about getting this here in Capri, the lemon's actually frozen, so your gelato is staying frozen as well, whereas Max's is automatically melting. Cute, and it's also functional. We love that.
This morning, we're cutting over to the other side of the peninsula for a drive along the one and only Amalfi Coast. Positano and Amalfi are the most popular towns along the coast, but they're also the most crowded.
With the town of Positano, I think what you have is the beauty and the space. The ratio just doesn't really mix, so you are always gonna have these big crowds when it's tourist season. We're here on a Sunday, so that probably doesn't help, but I would imagine, especially during the peak tourist season, every single day of the week is gonna be just packed with people. There's one road in, one road out, very small beach, and this is built on the side of a cliff, so there's just not a lot of room to move around. If you can allow yourself to extrapolate the crowds from the beauty is pretty amazing to appreciate. The one thing we are thinking though right now, it's probably best to be out on the water. I think that's probably the best way to enjoy Positano, so we're keeping that in mind.
Are you gonna swim today?
Yes, of course. How could I miss it? It's gonna be a little colder though. We were trying to wait for the sun to come out before we take a swim, but we might not have that option. We might just have to go for it. I'm ready though.
Positano has always been popular, but it has experienced a major tourism boom in recent years thanks to social media. When we walked around the town, it was quite claustrophobic and hard to navigate. The narrow streets that descend down the cliff can only handle so many people at a time. Seeing it from the water was a completely different experience altogether. The colorful buildings, seemingly stacked on top of each other, speckle the rigid cliffside and provide one of the coolest and most unique settings we have ever seen. The Amalfi Coast is certainly not the most convenient place to visit. There's really only one way in and one way out. It can be quite the journey from Naples, and once you arrive, you will have to navigate through crowded alleys, climb up steep steps, wait in lines, and depending on the time of year, endure stifling temperatures.
But with all that said, this place provides an experience that is pretty hard to replicate. The natural beauty is hard to even describe with words. The food will captivate your senses, and the seaside towns built right into the cliff's edge all belong on a postcard.
This is incredible up here.
Oh my God.
What? We're the only people on this rooftop, and there's probably like 80 people just 3 buildings down from us, and we've got the same view. Except they are getting attacked by seagulls.
Guys, we have totally lucked out. We found a Vietnamese restaurant that is a rooftop. It's right next to the Seven Hills Cafe, which I guess is a pretty popular spot. There's no one here. They allowed us to come to the top floor. Look at this view of the strait. And it gets better. Follow me this way. This city is huge. This side of the Bosphorus Strait is Europe, and this side is Asia. So we can literally look at 2 different continents right now. Hello everyone, and welcome to Istanbul, the metropolitan epicenter of Turkey, the largest city in Europe. This is a place that we have been dying to visit forever. Last night we got in the evening, we were kind of tired. I was just going out to get some food for us, and that 15-minute walk completely shattered my perspective of the world. Keep in mind that we have visited 33 countries now. We consider ourselves professional travelers at this point. And even for us, this has just been a whirlwind of incoming stimulus that we have never experienced anything like it in our lives. This is a place unlike any other. It is the only city in the world that spans across 2 different continents. It definitely feels like we have 1 foot in Europe and 1 foot in the Middle East. And this is foreign territory for us. It's fun to be in a place where we're the outsiders. There are so many aspects of life in Istanbul that we are just not accustomed to in any way. One of those is bartering. A lot of these shops, especially in the bazaars, they won't have prices listed on any of their products. You have to negotiate the price.
How do I look?
Very nice. We are entering one of the most historically significant landmarks in a very historically significant city. Originally constructed by the Eastern Roman Empire and then converted to the mosque during the conquest of the Ottomans. So much history within these walls, and we just can't wait to see what it looks like inside. My first impressions, I'm absolutely amazed at how quiet it is in here. There are a lot of tour groups, and you know what comes with tour groups. They've got the flags and all the people kind of following them. You would think that that would really take you out of the element, but somehow it seems like there is just a level of respect that this is a very, very peaceful place. We just can't stop looking up. Prayer is going on right behind us. This is the 3rd prayer of the day, the 3rd of 5. We're definitely glad that we stuck around because we were kind of thinking we had to leave the building. And that was really cool to see in person. We hear the call to prayer every day, but to see the other side of it, to see it actually in the mosque, gives us a little more context. And that was pretty cool, especially in such a historic place. Everything we have tried on this table has been fantastic. It's almost overwhelming. You don't know, you find your favorites and you keep going back to them, but you also want to try everything. So far, this is my favorite. I think it's like an Ivar, like from the Balkans, like a bell pepper chutney with a little spice. This is really good too, like a creamy cheese spread. I don't even know where to go from here. Oh, the cheese. The cheese is all really good. This is a new one. Wow. Final thoughts on our Turkish breakfast. It absolutely exceeded all of our expectations. Such an enjoyable experience. I can't recommend Sava Anatolian Breakfast House enough. Gotta give them a shout out. What I really noticed with this is that you have so many different flavor profiles going on at once. You have the sweet, light, citrusy flavors. And then you also have like this really dense, savory, spicy flavor too. What I read before we got there is that you usually start with the savory and spicy and then you kind of work your way towards the sweet. That's not how I approached it. I just kind of chaotically went all over the place and tried everything. But it was a little overwhelming for me in the sense that I didn't know what to try. And once I had a few favorites going, I kept gravitating towards those favorites, and it was hard to branch away and try something completely new, especially since we had no idea what anything was. So we had no idea what it was gonna taste like. But I'm very proud of myself. I tried absolutely everything on the table except for the cherry tomatoes. If you watch this channel, I'm not a tomato guy, and I'm gonna have to get over that because we're in a very tomato-y land right now. Kind of looking at the pictures and everything beforehand, I was thinking like, oh, this might not be enough food for us. But no, we got eggs, we got sausage, we got all of that bread. The bread was definitely like your home base because that's how you could try all of the dips. I feel so refreshed. I feel so ready to take on the day now. We should have done this the last 2 days. It's really incredible how humid it is in here, and it makes sense because we are literally suspended over the water. Now when I first researched this spot, I was a little nervous that it would be kind of musty in here because of all the water, but honestly, the water is so clear. It looks like the Bahamas or something. I mean, you can literally see right through it, and they light it up with these lights. This is really, really cool. And considering how historically significant this is, I'm amazed that they're able to do this whole light show. I think a lot of times with, like the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, they're so sacred about not changing anything. But I love this. I mean, how cool does this look with orange lights?
So this whole place used to be filled with water. It used to be an old Roman water source, I believe.
Ooh.
So cool, you can see right toward the bottom.
We're so glad we came back over here to see this. When we were here the first day, we didn't even know where the entrance was. It's kind of hidden, so the maps are not very helpful in finding it. But we're so glad we came back to see it. It's amazing in this massive city with all of these things to see. 3 of the coolest things are basically right in the same area. Good morning from Cappadocia, Turkey. We have just woken up in our cave hotel. It's about 5:40 a.m. We can hear the first call to prayer echoing through the streets of Gorema. But we have gotten up early to see what this place is famous for. Wow, this is so cool. They're starting to take off and you can see the flames inside the balloon because of the fact that it's still a little dark, but I'm guessing a lot of them time it up just right for sunrise. Also in the morning, the wind conditions are a little favorable for them to take off.
All the balloons are on the ground and they're flickering away with their fire and they're just brightening up the valley. It is truly amazing, and some have actually gotten up in the air and the sun is just rising. This was definitely worth waking up early for.
This road trip was never supposed to happen. We didn't plan to swim for hours in the electric blue water of the Aegean Sea, nor did we think we'd be walking amongst 3,000-year-old ruins all by ourselves. Or indulging in the world's best Turkish breakfast with a view before venturing down to a hidden beach. We weren't planning on even stepping foot in southern Turkey, but sometimes when plans change, you end up right where you're meant to be, like right here in the ancient city of Ephesus.
It is absolutely incredible to finally be at one of these old Roman Greek-style amphitheaters. We've had a few missed opportunities when it comes to that category. We've been in Bulgaria, we've been in Greece, but we just never have seen one this complete. I'm so glad that Ephesus ended up being our first because this is one of the best preserved in the entire world. Originally built in the 3rd century BC. Every time I say something like that when it relates to Roman ruins, it almost doesn't even compute. It doesn't even go through my brain in the right way because how could I possibly comprehend a period like 2,300 years when I've only been on this planet for 28 years? The fact that I'm standing here right now with my own 2 feet and to think what this was used for thousands of years ago. One of the big reasons why a lot of these amphitheaters are preserved so well is because the way that the rock formations, the way that the stone was built for the seats, even with erosion and weather and earthquakes and all of those things, it tends to hang around for the most part. We are so excited to be here at Ephesus. This is unbelievable. We've always said that. People flock to Athens, people flock to Rome. You can find so many Roman ruins throughout the European continent, especially here on Turkey, Roman and Greek. Well, personally, I don't understand how it's not the amphitheater. Actually, the most iconic thing here at Ephesus is the front of the library. That is wild. It's unbelievable. We're just like, we're blown away, seriously.
So like, are these libraries like ancient day Google?
Exactly. Ancient day Google. That's a good way to put it.
They held the key to everything, all the knowledge, all the answers.
All the answers lied within these walls.
Wow.
At least what I thought was all the answers. And as the sun sets over Ephesus, we make our way south on our Turkish Riviera road trip. I'm definitely starting to think that we're gonna have some sunshine today. I was really let down when we were coming out and it was just pouring rain. But it looks like for the most part we're in the clear. We've just arrived at Black Island, and I'm actually the only one on the top of this boat, which is kind of crazy. No one wanted to be up here when it was raining, obviously, but they have like these cushions out. It'd be really fun to just lay out if it wasn't soaking wet. My God, this water is so clear.
This boat day excursion around Bodrum and the surrounding islands is without a doubt one of the most memorable Get Your Guide experiences that we've done. For just $25 each, the boat cruises around for over 8 hours, making plenty of stops so you can jump in and swim in the gorgeous blue water. We could even buy our favorite Turkish beer on board for 60 lira each, and a barbecue lunch was included in the ticket price.
Wow, I had no idea Turkey was this mountainous. We are driving over these mountains, and it's so green and beautiful. This could be Colorado, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we've been on a steady incline for like the past half an hour.
I guess I was expecting like the whole country to be like a desert, like it was in the middle where Cappadocia is. But over here on the western side, it is stunning.
The ancient city of Xanthos is believed to have been founded somewhere around the 8th century BC. So we're talking over 3,000 years ago. It's pretty amazing too how you can just walk up to all of the ruins they have. There's really no gate or entrance or line that you have to go through. Even at Ephesus, we thought we were so lucky that we were there with very few people around. But compared to here in Xanthos, there's one other guy here. If you listen real closely, you can hear a motorcycle in the distance. If you listen real closely, you can almost hear the roars of the crowd. It's just amazing. It's dead silence. The only sound is the wind, and you can almost kind of picture 3,200 years ago. That was one of the most beautiful drives ever, and then it very quickly turned stressful. But we made it in one piece. I'm amazed I actually parked the car. I would say this is not at all what we expected when we booked our hotel, but we are very, very pleasantly surprised. It's more of a pension than a hotel, and it's built right into this rock. This pension is right on the top of this really, really steep road, and The guy that checked us in, he carried both of our bags up for us. It was so nice. Everyone here is so nice. I cannot say enough about Turkish people and how nice they are. So we're going to be very happy for the next few days in Kaş. There are so many of these Hellenistic style theaters in this part of the world, but this is the only one with a view of the sea. It looks like we are about to see amphitheater number 4 of the trip. This is such a fascinating part of the world, the cradle of civilization, where a lot of the foundation of what we know as today's society started. And it's such a privilege to be able to just visit these places. What's so fun to me about getting into these ancient amphitheaters is the fact that you have the opportunity to come down to the stage level, and you can really just picture, I mean, if there were like 15,000 people all packed in here, again, no microphones, nothing like that, no amplification technology. It all had to be done naturally through the building of the stands and reverberating off of the mountains in the background here too. So amazing that every single one we've been to has had a beautiful backdrop, whether it's looking out on the other side of the stage or behind the actual grandstands. There's always either like a beautiful mountain scenery or what we saw in Kaş with the water. There was a lot put into how these looked, and to make them feel grand, to make them feel like you're in a place with a lot of significance.
Not gonna lie, this scares me a bit.
In the short span of only 50 years, the United Arab Emirates went from a vast desert landscape to one of the most futuristic urban sprawls the world has ever seen. This transformation, which took place in hyperspeed, has made the UAE a thriving tourist destination. When people think of Dubai, they think of the Burj Khalifa, and that's for good reason. It is the tallest building in the world. The Burj Khalifa stands at 2,717 feet, and on top of visiting the actual building, it's something that you can see from absolutely anywhere in the city of Dubai. It's something you absolutely cannot miss.
It's sparkling.
That was cool.
Wow.
Seeing this thing at night is just a completely different experience. It's amazing how there's just like an aura around it. You can literally see a beam of light around the thing that just shoots up to the sky. I honestly don't know how that was built. Especially in the middle of the desert, like, it's just mind-blowing. It might be one of the coolest things that humanity has ever built. The Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. This is located just outside of downtown Abu Dhabi, and it is one of the most beautiful religious structures I have ever seen.
So bright.
Now, it's not very old and it's not very historic, it's actually quite new, but just the incredible design, the Islamic architecture, and the blinding white that really reflects in the hot Abu Dhabi sun, it will absolutely take your breath away. While the UAE definitely isn't the cheapest place to visit, the Grand Mosque actually is free to visit. You just have to register for a ticket before you go, and they have very specific time slots that you can book before you go. There's another mall you can check out that's right underneath the mosque to just hang out and get there early. And then it's also very, very important to read the restrictions and the guidelines as far as the attire that you can wear, because this is a holy place, this is a religious structure, so there's absolutely no shorts allowed, no t-shirts. If you are a woman, you'll have to cover your hair as well. So it's just very important to follow all those guidelines so that you don't miss out on seeing such a beautiful structure. It's just so cool to be out in a desert like this when you would normally think, why would anyone even come out here? There's so much to do. People are sandboarding over here. The dune bashing was so fun. And just looking around and feeling the sand on your feet is so beautiful, so therapeutic. Just a really, really amazing experience.
This is absolutely mind-blowing. There is no one in this metro station. This is the airport metro station. Sydney and I are the only people in here. It's almost kind of eerie.
Hello everyone and welcome to Doha, the capital city of Qatar. So just a little bit of background on the country of Qatar. It's a relatively young country, gaining independence in 1971 from the British Protectorate. It's located in the Arabian Gulf. It's north of the UAE and south of Bahrain. It actually is its own little peninsula that juts out into the Gulf. In recent news, it was made world famous for hosting the FIFA World Cup in 2022. That was a monumental event for the city of Doha, for the country of Qatar, and was really an opportunity for them to kind of showcase how much this country has developed on a world stage and show everyone. Because even I have to admit, like before the World Cup, I didn't know too much about Qatar. I just had a marginal knowledge of where it was, didn't know anything about it, and I had no idea that it looked like that.
One thing we knew we absolutely had to experience in Qatar was a desert safari. The entire country is about 4,500 square miles, the majority of which is a vast desert landscape. The endless stretches of sandy dunes provide perfect terrain for an activity known as dune bashing. In other words, sitting in the back seat of an SUV while a complete stranger drives up and down sand dunes with reckless abandon. But before the bashing began, we got to hitch a ride at a much slower speed. The camel was a crucial part of history in this region. They enabled long-distance trade across deserts like the Silk Road by carrying both goods and people.
This is amazing. It's not as easy as it looks. You have to really engage the core.
Have you ever held a bird before?
Actually, no. He's so strong, I could feel that on my hand.
You can feel him.
Wow, that grip.
It's my first time holding a bird ever. Oh wow. He's so pretty.
Dune bashing completely exceeded our expectations. It was like being on a roller coaster. I could not believe the movements that the car was making. It's just amazing how with the sand and how much it sinks into the sand, it can really tip on its edge really far. There were times when we were kind of worried it was going to tip over, but just awesome experience in this beautiful desert setting. Got about maybe 45 minutes until the sunset, but it's starting to have those red colors already. Oh, it is so beautiful out here.
This is my first time truly in a desert, and the sand on my feet is so soft. It's unbelievable. And these dunes just go on for miles. I can't even comprehend it. It is so beautiful. cute little Santa.
We've reached the southeast corner of the state of Qatar. This is the Arabian Gulf. It kind of goes all the way around Qatar. Those mountains you see in the distance, that is Saudi Arabia. To think about, I mean, we've come so far from home. Whenever I've thought about Saudi Arabia or looked at it on a map, it just seems like such a distant land, and it's right there. We've really, really traveled a long way, and that's starting to hit home.
Now that I think about it, I think I do want to put my feet in. I mean, I have to say that I've been to the Arabian Sea, don't I? Is this our first time in the Indian Ocean? I need to know. Oh my gosh. This is monumental. A milestone.
This is actually quite monumental.
Wow, now I'm so glad I got in. At least dipped my feet in there. Wow. You want to try the bite? Or do you want to try the nachos?
Nachos.
Yes, sir.
We want to try the penny curry.
You want to try pani puri?
Yeah.
Please come this way.
That was amazing.
This is so awesome. It just feels like we've been transported to another galaxy, and now we're the outsiders, which is such a refreshing feeling.
It almost tastes like Fritos on the outside.
That's what I was thinking.
Filled with like shredded cheese, green onion, and like a bean.
It really resembles like a nacho dip. We had another very interesting cab ride. I feel like when you take a cab, you're not just paying for transportation, you're also paying for entertainment. All right, here we go. Yeah, they are not gonna wait for us. Hello everyone, and welcome to another day of Diwali here in Mumbai. We've had an amazing first full day here in India. We had some coffee, we had a chance to get some work done, kind of adjust to the time change, and then we had our first Indian meal out at a restaurant, and it was nothing short of life-changing. We've just arrived at Marine Drive Beach, which we heard is one of the best places to catch the sunset. The sun looks absolutely majestic right now. I think, again, one of the funny, positive parts about this air quality thing going on is that the sun looks really cool. It's almost like a dark red, kind of hazy. The sun has already disappeared. It happened in the course of probably like 3 or 4 minutes. That is something we heard before coming here, that in these months when the air quality is not as good, because the horizon disappears so fast in just the haze, so does the sun. So we had this perfect view of this incredibly beautiful red sun, and then we looked back and it was gone. So far it's been hard for me to kind of picture the size of the city, because I feel like we've been hopping around to different parts, just from the airport to where we were staying to where we are now. And everywhere you see these skyscrapers, like we see like a pretty modern looking skyline in the distance. But I don't think we've even seen a fraction of the city. You look on the map and it looks like it's pretty manageable to get around, but then you see how long it takes to drive or even walk. We've heard a lot about street food here in Mumbai. It's a pretty big part of everyday life. And I am already just getting way too much overload of options. I don't even know what I want to try.
Sweet and spicy?
Spicy.
Yes.
Spicy.
One bite.
One bite.
All of it.
Spicy?
It's really nice.
I had one spicy and it exploded in the back of my mouth. So now I'm sticking with the sweet. But it's so good. It's like a flavor bomb.
A predictable turnout. I prefer the spicy, Sydney prefers the sweet. The spicy is so good.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm excited to try.
That was crazy, and not at all what I expected. The pani puri has like this broth inside of it, so he kept asking us sweet or spicy. Sydney preferred the sweet, I prefer the spicy, but they would take basically this cracker and just dip it in to this broth, and as you bite into that, it literally explodes in your mouth. So I'm so glad I was kind of given instructions, because I would have literally just taken half a bite of that and it would have been all over my face. As soon as you bite into that, it's like, because it's essentially like a watery, it's not like a thick broth, it's like a watery broth.
Yeah.
So the last one he gave us, I guess it's different than pani puri, it's called seb puri. So these are dry, and they just have like a filling in it that's really good. So we asked for 6 more of those, because we really enjoyed that. It's amazing how much that resembles like the taste of nachos. There's a cracker. Very good. Thank you.
It almost tastes like Fritos on the outside.
That's what I was thinking.
Filled with like shredded cheese, green onion, and like a bean.
It really resembles like a nacho dip.
That was amazing.
We are in the heart of South Mumbai. All of the noises, all of the chaos around us. Right behind me is Mumbai's largest train station and one of the busiest train stations in the whole country of India. There's a lot going on right now. Both of the main buildings are lit up in these purple and gold colors. Our eventual destination down here is Crawford Market. But before we get there, we're gonna try some vadi pav right over here. A really interesting thing we've noticed so far with the old-fashioned Mumbai cabs is they have a place for suitcases on top of the car. This is because there's basically no trunk space whatsoever, but it's just crazy looking at this and imagining putting your suitcase on top of there. They don't have to strap it down or anything, it just stays there as long as there's not any crazy turns. But imagine just going down the highway with your suitcases on top of a car in that basket. Oh, we're gonna get hit by a car. All right, here we go. Our first vada pav in Mumbai. This place is directly across the street from the train station, and I'm so excited because the entire menu is in Hindi. That just seems very authentic, very real, very true to India. This doesn't seem like a tourist hotspot at all. I think this is right where locals come for their vada pav. The honking is so crazy. Even after like 2.5 days, it's just like, it's so hard to get used to. Essentially, this is also nicknamed the Indian burger. It is a big old chunk of potato with spices, and it's surrounded by somewhat of a hamburger bun. If you'll remember our pav bhaji from lunch, the word pav, I'm pretty sure, just kind of means like hamburger bun. So, let's go try some vada pav. Can I have one vada pav and one water? Water, water, big small. Vada pav, thank you. There you go. We're still getting used to the hectic nature of this place. I literally almost just forgot my change, and they said, "Hey, sir, your change." People are so honest and nice here. Honestly, I'm just so blown away by that. In New York, that money would have been gone. All right, here's our vadi pav. You can see the potato. There's also some sauce inside. I think this is like a spicy sauce. It's some sort of a masala chutney. And the potato itself is definitely like fried. Oh my God. Seriously, everything we have tried so far today has just blown us away. I really think what it comes down to is there's just so much flavor. We definitely like to show everything we try in the most positive light possible, but here in India, it's impossible to do it any other way. Everything is so delicious. Usually, I'm the one on the channel that likes to explain what's going on with the food. I can't. I'm sorry guys, I just can't. This is beyond words. Beyond words what we've tried so far. I'm starting to wonder, like, why does nothing taste this good back home? What are we doing wrong? What are we missing? Another thing that's absolutely amazing me is we have not had a single piece of meat today. And we're kind of starting to get full. We have a lot of eating still in front of us, and I don't know how we're gonna do it. They somehow managed to figure out how to make vegetarian dishes very filling and very satisfying.
Ooh, spicy.
It's got a really nice spice.
Really spicy. Wow. Definitely the spiciest thing we've had today, or at least I've had today.
Hey, hello. This is so crazy. Man, I just love how friendly people here are. Our adventures in Jaipur, India have officially started. We had a big laundry situation, probably the most desperate laundry situation we've had since Germany last year. We've just been staying in a lot of hotels recently, and it's not as easy and a lot of times not as cost effective to do laundry in a hotel versus an Airbnb. And now we are about to make our way into the famous Pink City. So we're gonna try to get a tuk-tuk, and this is gonna be our first tuk-tuk ride in India, because in South Mumbai, they're not even allowed anymore. Speak of the devil. This should be a really interesting experience. A little nervous, but we can't come to India without riding in a tuk-tuk. Just not gonna happen. Sydney, how are you feeling about your first tuk-tuk ride?
I'm really excited. I've been actually waiting for this for a long time.
Are you excited or nervous?
Not nervous, just really excited.
Guess I'm the only one that's nervous. It's interesting, you can actually call them here on Uber. Oh, here we go. And we're off. Believe how close we sometimes get to other vehicles. It is absolutely insane.
This is so wild. I'm making a little pit stop for some gas.
This is the gas station.
No snacks to be found here.
A little intermission. So far we can say that we have survived. It's actually quite nice. It's a nice way to get around. You're able to get through gaps, I think, more so than you would in a car.
I think you can get around faster.
Yeah, I actually think, especially when there's those traffic jams. City, where all of the buildings are painted this really interesting coral pink color.
The color is almost like terracotta.
There's just so much going on, so much action. Never a dull moment here in India. I feel like there's two versions of myself. Me before I took a tuk-tuk ride and me after I took a tuk-tuk ride. That is intense. The famous front pink facade of the Taj Mahal. Look at this thing. The Tattoo Cafe was full, they had a line. So we came over to the Wind View Cafe, which I'm pretty sure is the exact same view. We can see the Pink Palace right behind us. So we're just enjoying much needed water and some masala chai, which I'm very excited about. It comes in these beautiful clay cups. the Pink City, which Jaipur is often referred to as. It's a sign of the hospitality of the region of Rajasthan. The entire city was painted this kind of terracotta coral pink color to welcome Prince Albert when he visited. And after that, he referred to it as the Pink City, and the name kind of stuck. It's pretty amazing. We're just walking through all of these markets. They're selling this leather, they're selling shoes, they're selling really, really beautiful shirts and dresses, and there's spice markets. There's just a lot going on, and of course with my camera I'm attracting some attention. Wow.
We just stumbled upon our first Indian cows. They're just in the middle of the road.
It's just out there with the traffic.
I just want to follow this cow for the rest of the night. They're just like dogs. They just go where they want when they want.
I don't even know who they belong to.
They belong to the city. I don't know.
They belong to the streets. The cow is still just making its way down the street with us. We just have these little moments where we truly realize how far away from home we are. And I think Sydney seeing that cow, you'll never forget that moment.
Never, never, ever. We saw some monkeys too, which is so crazy.
Monkeys scare me. They scare me so much. I mean, they have opposable thumbs like us. They're not that different from us, really. They can grab things. Like, I'm always just picturing, you know, we have these cameras and phones, we're always taking pictures and videos. A monkey can literally just snatch that right out of your hand.
That's Max's greatest fear.
That is my greatest fear. Everyone's shop is so nice. I wish I had more money. Oh, another cow.
Where?
Right here.
Where? Oh my god, he's big.
Baby cow!
This is cool. Like, this really feels like what you think India is. We had some instances in Mumbai that felt like that too, but I just feel like here, it's kind of just a whole new level. I think it's the tuk-tuks. It's all the beautiful, bright, colorful quilts that they're selling, the bangles on the street, all the food vendors. It's incredible.
This feels more old world India, and there is some of that in Mumbai for sure, but Mumbai is a very big city and it's getting pretty modern as far as like the architecture and everything like that. It's probably the difference between going to like a New York City versus going to like a Kansas City. You get a little more American vibes in the Midwest, Texas, places like that than you would in the very international places. Oh, look at that. Yeah. The pinky. I got the gut. Did you ever think you'd be walking with an elephant?
Maybe one day. Glad that day's today.
Make eye contact with her. Okay. This is how you're gonna gain more trust from her, and she'll be more comfortable around you.
Okay.
Her name is Pinky.
Pinky.
She's 52 years old, running. Over the cheeks, around the eyes, over the eyes, here, below the chin, and here, behind the ears on the neck. These are the most sensitive parts of an elephant body, and they really like to be touched. And we'll start with feeding her favorite treat, jaggery.
Okay.
It's a sweet dish. And Mr. Dabu, he will be with you all the time.
You can put here in the nose.
Oh, okay.
Le Pinky. She's named Pinky.
Pinky.
Yeah.
So give it food, call for her Le Pinky. You calling his name, she
Okay.
understands.
Okay.
It attracts you.
Le Pinky.
She Pinky is circus animals and rescued animals. And rescued is the Indian government and take adopt Mr. Rahul elephant. She become only 1.5 year.
Okay. Wow.
She is a blind, no see.
Okay.
Some injured, some injuries in the ears.
The Pinky. Right here.
Lisa?
Pinky. Here. She really likes it.
The Pinky.
Wow. She's beautiful.
Really hungry. Where does she sleep?
Lay down night time.
Back?
6 hours, 7 hours. But long time standing elephant. Long time.
Okay. What else does she eat?
Elephant like jaggery, sugarcane,
Okay.
glass of millet, habit corn, naan chapati, peanut, coconut.
Oh, really? Okay.
All vegetarians she likes. Elephant under the mouth, 4 molar.
4?
4 molar.
Oh, okay.
And the big molar, 1 molar, 1 feet long, and 1 molar 4 foot. Oh, wow. All life 6 times chance.
I didn't realize they were hairy. If you go really closely, she's covered in little hairs.
The Pinky. Oh, she wants it. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Get it again. This absolutely fascinates me. It is literally the baby Taj Mahal. Everything from the design to the geometry, every direction you look at this building, it looks the exact same. And you even have this walkway leading up to it. Now the big difference is there's not nearly as many tourists at this one. Still quite a few, but compared to the Taj, I mean, there's really nothing that compares to that as far as tourist crowds. Now they are very, very strict about the tripod. We have a little grip on the bottom of our GoPro, and they wouldn't even let us take that. So I'm literally just holding this with my fingers. So that is something definitely keep in mind. Absolutely no tripods in any of these buildings here in Agra. Everything about what we're seeing, the garden, all of the plants, the birds chirping. You even have around the perimeter, there's just these really ornate sandstone almost looking structures. I mean, look at that. That is just so beautiful. And that is on all 4 sides. The geometry of this place is also just really fascinating to me. I mean, everything is just so well planned out. It is absolutely incredible to think that I am mere kilometers away from one of the wonders of the world. We came at sunset, and something that I didn't realize would be part of that is the birds are just acting very peculiarly. It's flying everywhere, making a racket. It does kind of add to the allure almost though. I mean, that's the Taj Mahal right there. There's just moments in our adventures where it's hard to just actually comprehend. Maybe that's what the birds are doing. They're celebrating that we're here.
The birds are being birdly.
About 40 minutes later, we're officially getting kicked out of the park. But we're not alone. Most people stay till the very end. They close at 5:30 p.m. And we were just having ourselves a little photo shoot out here. There's no shame in that.
It's funny, when the sun goes down, you can definitely see the haze in the air a little bit more.
Air quality here in Agra is around 230 which actually isn't terrible for considering what we've been...
terrible for India.
Like, considering what we've been dealing with Mumbai and Jaipur, both in like the high 300s.
But I will say the haze kind of adds a bit moodiness to the whole environment here.
And I honestly think that some of what we're seeing in the air is fog too. Because it does, like, you kind of feel it in the air. It just gets really kind of moistury.
Yeah, when the sun does go down, it cools off here for sure.
I cannot recommend the park enough. We're gonna come back one more time later on, because you can get up to the very front, which is a different area entirely.
It's a different fee.
Which is
Imagine
interesting.
that.
Different fee, but I think that it's cheaper.
And it's closer. Yes.
But yeah, you can't miss the gardens either, because I mean, look at this. Like, what an incredible surrounding to take in the Taj Mahal. Oh, here we go. This is absolutely the most people we've ever taken a picture with. Bangalore street crossing. These street crossings may be on par with Mumbai. I just gotta go for it. Ah, that was scary. Hello. 1687. Good morning, everybody, from Bengaluru, India. This is the 4th largest city in the country, and it's also the technology hub. It's kind of like the Silicon Valley of India. We're really excited to explore what makes this place special. We've gone to a completely different region of India. We are far in the north, and now we're almost all the way down in the south, and we definitely have felt the climate change.
It's a Sunday here in Bangalore, and we've come to probably the most popular brunch spot in the city. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna provide us with our American comfort breakfast. We've been here in India almost 3 weeks, and we've exclusively ate Indian food. But let's just say I'm dealing with a little bit of intestinal issues the past couple of days, so I'm feeling good today. But I think we're gonna have some more basic foods, like a pancake or something. And we'll definitely be having more Indian food, don't you worry. But for now, let's have some brunch.
We arrived at the Bengaluru Palace. We were very much looking forward to checking it out. It's modeled after Windsor Castle. It looks so cool from the outside, and there's this beautiful courtyard inside. We get to the front, even though we looked it up online and everything, tickets were $240 a person, 240 rupees a person, and I saw absolutely nothing about restrictions on taking photos and videos. Now that we're here, there's signs everywhere that say photography strictly prohibited, punishable by fine. And something we've run into while we've been in India so many times. The price is double for foreigners, which is us. I looked it up, $240 a person. It's about $3. It's actually $480 a person, which is closer to $6. And I know, still not that much, but I just can't believe that. They doubled the price for us everywhere we go. Imagine you went to the Empire State Building, and as you walk in, it said, price for US citizens, 20 bucks. Price for foreigners, $45. Like, that's crazy. The mix of influence is just so cool. That is pretty medieval looking. I'm still so amazed that just looking at this from the outside, you would never imagine what it looks like on the inside. Definitely difficult history in this country, and don't want to dive into all that because I don't really understand all of it, and that's not really my place to talk about. But it's cool just seeing like all of the people of Bengaluru and India being able to, now that this is officially India, to be able to just own something like this. Like, this is theirs now. And with that said, maybe it's okay that foreigners have to pay double. What a cool palace. I'm glad we checked it out.
Glad we spent the $480.
Well, 40 times 2. So nearly 12 bucks there, but what can you do? All right, so what's interesting is since we've been to India, we've seen some tourist attractions, obviously, like the Taj Mahal, all that stuff, but a lot of what we've done has just been walking around, taking in the streets, taking in the chaos, and eating a lot of amazing food. So now that we've seen the biggest attraction here in Bengaluru, we're gonna see one more, and then after that, we're gonna spend the rest of our day walking around, taking it in, and telling you all about our first impressions of this place. We have a lot to share. We're always so interested looking at the local currency and seeing who's on the bills. And usually it's a different person for every bill. But here in India, it's Mahatma Gandhi on every single bill. Now here in India, they use the rupee, and these bills go from 500 rupee bill all the way down to a 10 rupee bill. So a 500 rupee bill is around $6. It's about a $6 value. Here I have a 200, which is my favorite because it's orange. And I do like that they're all different colors, and they're kind of vibrant colors too. You've got purple, you've got blue, you've got orange. So this one's about $2.40. But yeah, there's Gandhi on every single bill. Okay, so I can already tell this place is a local joint. Like this just feels, it's got like the lights and people are just standing at the tables. Very no frills, very easygoing. It is so fitting that our favorite street food we had in India was tonight on our last night. That dosa was absolutely incredible. I just can't believe all the flavors going on. So good, so flavorful, so well put together, so filling. I can't believe how filling it is for being completely vegetarian. I'm still recovering from that spice journey. I mean, there were so many things to identify at once. It was extremely overwhelming, but in the best way. And that is a good segue into telling you that we are flying to Thailand tonight. Well, not really tonight, it's more so in the morning, but we're considering it tonight because we're gonna attempt to pull an all-nighter. The reason why, this flight is at about 6 a.m. and it does take a while to get from central Bangalore to the Bangalore airport. So our thoughts are, we can actually save on a night of hotel expenses by just going to the airport really early in the morning. And on top of that, there's a really cool airport here in Bengaluru. They just redid Terminal 2, which is the international terminal. We're really excited to check it out. We've heard it's on par with some of the best airports in the world. It is 2:30 a.m. local time. We are about to head to the Bengaluru airport and make our way to Thailand. Welcome to the stunning Terminal 2 of Bengaluru Airport. I cannot believe how cool this airport is. It is easily the coolest airport I've ever been in my entire life. This is such a weird sensation right now because we're so tired. It's almost 4 in the morning. We haven't really slept at all, but somehow we're just powering through, and I think that the fact that this is such a cool airport definitely helps. We had no idea that this airport was so awesome. I mean, we literally booked these flights to Thailand from Bangalore because it was the cheapest. The one thing we didn't realize is that we do have to book a ticket leaving Thailand before we get there. We just want to make sure that we're not going to be overrunning our 30 days of visa-free travel. So we're going to have to figure out where we're going after Thailand, which we don't exactly know. We are on our way to Thailand. We're about to board our flight. And we're still going strong despite getting essentially no sleep. It's about 5:30 in the morning and we pulled an all-nighter. We can still do it. Even at this ripe old age of 28, we can still pull an all-nighter. I'm really wondering if coffee was a good idea because I'm gonna want to get some sleep on this flight if possible. It's a longer flight, so hopefully that's where we get our rest. and we will check in when we get to Thailand. I'm so excited. Another place we've wanted to visit for a long time. Official farewell to India. Said it in our last video, but we had so much fun in this country. Absolutely blew us away, and we're gonna miss it. We are definitely feeling, as we're about to board this flight, just a little bit of sadness because this was so much fun. We are all checked in, all settled in here in Bangkok, Thailand. We are so excited to be here. Thailand has been high on our list for a long time for a lot of different reasons, but one of the big reasons is, of course, the food. We're huge fans of Thai food, and thinking about trying authentic Thai food right where it came from, right from the source, is just making our mouths water. We're a little tired, we're a little still jet lagged from the flight, but we're gonna persevere and go try our first Thai food in Bangkok. Our accommodation here at the Tiara residence is unbelievable. We're like completely blown away. The room is so nice, the view of the skyline is amazing, and we even have a pool. We'll definitely have to be utilizing that pool as much as we can. If you're ever in Bangkok, definitely check these guys out. Very affordable prices and just incredible rooms.
Good morning from Bangkok, Thailand. Just so happens you can find basically anything on the street here, including coffee. Do you do a latte? Iced latte, please. 2. The coffee is secured, and now it's time to find a little breakfast. Sawadee-ka. Sawadee-ka. Okay, breakfast is served, everybody. 50 baht for the coffees and 40 baht for the fruit. Future Sydney will let you know how much that is, but I'm guessing it's like $3 maybe. So cool. I go to that fruit stand almost every morning, and I always get pineapple and watermelon. I've tried the papaya. There's also pears, cantaloupe, apples, but the pineapple and the watermelon are so good. And so freaking cheap. I love it. Ooh. Yeah, definitely powdered coffee, you can tell, but that's how they make it here mostly. Really nice, and so much ice. Ever since we went to India, like the first couple days we were there, I was so cautious on what we ate, making sure never to drink the tap water or even ice. But here, I'm like, we survived 3 weeks in India. Like, I'm eating all the ice that I can get my hands on. And it's so strange because I don't think if we would have not gone to India that I would be acting the same way I am here in Thailand. I'm eating all the fruit, all the ice. I just don't want to miss any of it. This place is so smart. They like made you buy a drink before you even came up here, so they know they're getting at least one drink out of you.
What is 350 baht?
For beer?
For a beer in Thailand.
For Corona, light.
You're not paying for the beer though. You're paying for this. We have really enjoyed our time here in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, this street food haven, this exciting city. So much good food, so much going on. But one Bangkok staple that we have not done yet, something that everyone says you have to do when you're here, is to go to a rooftop bar to catch the sunset. The thing about Bangkok, especially the area we've been in, sidewalks are kind of few and far between, so we're just trying to make our way through this canal and the head-on traffic. You can see those buildings in the distance. That is where we're headed. Okay, I have to be quick because of the music, but we got up right as the sunset was kind of just disappearing. We got this really quick glimpse of this beautiful red sun, and it's almost gone now, unfortunately. I don't know, did we get it? I don't know. I think we barely got it on the camera, but we saw it with our eyes for 10 seconds. Welcome to Bangkok, Thailand, which just happens to be the location of the largest Chinatown district in the entire world. We're going to be spending our entire night right here in Chinatown. Right behind me is the main street of Yaowarat. We're just going to take a walk down there and see what we find. We're going to have some Chinese food, we're going to have some Thai food, we're going to have some Michelin star rated street food. We may be trying bugs, insects tonight. We may be getting in one of those crazy tuk-tuks. I don't even know what we're doing tonight, but we're going to get started because we are so excited. Let's go.
Oh.
Right?
You gotta have the sauce with it. Wow. For people who have never had pandan before, I kind of would describe it as like vanilla and almond, but maybe matcha too. The green color is definitely deceiving. Like it doesn't taste like tea like you would think. I would more say I think it tastes like almonds to me. Got some good stuff.
These are so hot. They just came right out of the pan as you saw, but they have this incredible crispiness. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it is just like a perfectly crispy outside to this dumpling.
Oh.
And there it goes. Actually, I'll eat that. If I can eat bugs, I can eat that. This is my warm-up to bugs. What's more disgusting? Me eating this dumpling right off the street here in Bangkok? Or, I don't know what we're thinking about that one. Oh, you can like see. Okay, imagine if that thing's just coming at you in the desert. All right, we're just going for it. We're going for it. I don't even know how to eat this. So many people are watching me right now. Oh, it's okay. I don't like that one as much. I don't know what else to eat. What have you got yourself into?
I've seen this on the internet for so long and I've been dying to try it. These are strawberries dipped in like a simple syrup. And once they dip it into the hot simple syrup, it like forms like a hard coating, probably like candy. I'm thinking this is gonna be crunchy on the outside, but then like a strawberry obviously on the inside. Wow, and there's so many.
For 80 baht.
For 80 baht, wow.
Is it really crunchy?
Oh my god. The strawberry is so sweet. And the crunchy outside sugar coating. It's like the top of creme brulee all over the sweetest strawberry you've ever tasted.
Wow.
Holy shit. You have to try this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Something I knew I had to try here in Penang, nasi kandar. This is a Malaysian dish that was actually brought over from spice traders from India. It's this rich fusion of influences, and just look how beautiful those gravies are. We're at one of the most famous places in Georgetown to get nasi kandar, and I have no idea how this works because we just kind of came in and they threw a bunch of stuff on a plate for us and gave it to us and then wrote down something on a piece of paper. We go and pay afterwards. There is like a menu and it says specific things like nasi biryani, a few other things, but I honestly think nasi kandar, the idea is just all of it all together on one plate. You have the biryani here, you have the rice, And then these beautifully rich gravies that have curry and other spices. There's just a lot going on here. And then you have the cabbage as well. And you can tell the cabbage is almost kind of marinated in a curry, some sort of curry mixture. I don't even know where to start. We've also got this giant piece of chicken. Looks like we got a wing and part of a breast. Look at that beautiful chicken, wow. And you can kind of see like the colors on here too. Everything is just soaked up in all of this flavor. Oh my gosh, that's tender. So I think the idea of throw the chicken in all the gravy. Oh, whoa. Okay, not only is it spicy in the idea that there's just a lot of spices going on, but it is also spicy, as in hot. Wow, that is good. Beautifully mixing together in a medley of flavors and textures. I usually really like to try to identify what makes food special when I'm trying it, but I have to tell you what, this is one of the most delicious things I've ever eaten in my life. I don't say that very often. Go back and look at all the other videos. I always let you know if I like it, but I don't think I've ever said that. This is really amazing. Just watching them refine the sugarcane back there. It goes through that machine so many times just to make sure you get every drop of that juice. And then because there's some pulp on it too, they strain it right in front of you. The entire process is happening right here at this cart.
I am so obsessed with this plastic. I know they use a lot of plastic here in this part of the world, but how freaking cute is this, first of all? You can walk around the market, hands-free, put it on your wrist, you can grab things, you can pay for things. This is genius. I love this. I would love like a reusable one. I don't know, people should start making these. It's amazing. Okay, in the cup we have the sugarcane lemonade, and in the bag we got a big bottle of the regular sugarcane juice. We have a pretty good idea what this tastes like, but this is new for us, so let's give this a taste. Oh, wow, that is awesome. We saw the lady making this, just squeeze the juice out of these lemons. And honestly, it's like a really salty lemonade that's sweet. This is like, I don't know. I just feel like this has so many electrolytes going on. Like I'm feeling hydrated because of the saltiness and the lemon. And it's not too sweet actually. Come to think about it, it's not as earthy as sugarcane juice usually is either. Wow.
Welcome home, everybody. We've heard a lot of people refer to Kuala Lumpur as the city that makes luxury affordable. And I think that is such a perfect way to put it, especially in what is known as KLCC. It's the Kuala Lumpur City Center. Most of these buildings were built in the last 2 decades. I mean, if you looked at this place in 1987, it wouldn't look anything like this. And they're still building. You can see so many cranes, so many huge buildings going up. But what's so amazing about all of these hotels and all of these residences is that they are pretty affordable. Just across the way is the Crown Plaza Hotel, and we were looking at some of the rooms there. I think they're like $40 to $50 a night. There's another kind of luxury condo just across the way. That pool looks amazing. What I will say about that pool though is you wouldn't be able to see the Petronas Towers. That was like our big selling point here. And then apart from the amazing skyscrapers, you look this way and just see the mountains in the distance. This is so cool. We haven't really taken a chance to look at every single direction and really take this in. I mean, we're on the top of the building. This is like an observation deck. It's wild that we're just gonna have complete full access to this for the next 10 days. I'm so excited. Look at that. This is very like Dubai-esque. Like all of the architecture is almost futuristic looking. So apart from the amazing view of the Petronas Towers, which actually were the tallest buildings in the world for a brief period between the late 80s and early 90s, there's now a building over on the other side of the Petronas Towers that is even taller. We didn't even realize that. I didn't know there was anything taller here. Another really cool feature of those buildings is that they have a sky bridge that connects the two buildings. And when you take a tour of that building, you can actually walk on the sky bridge. I think that's something that I'm gonna wanna do before I leave.
As we were sitting on the couch last night, the building over had a reflection, a really bright reflection of something. And I thought, that can't be the towers. They're too far away.
It was the towers.
But it was the towers. That is insane. It's so bright that it's just like illuminating everything around it. And it literally was illuminating a building over, like behind our building. That's crazy.
Another beautiful day here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This city is so well known for its nightlife, its food street culture, and we will definitely be experiencing that. But we've been told that a Kuala Lumpur trip is not complete without seeing one of this region's most significant religious sites. Welcome everyone to the stunning entrance of the Batu Caves. We are kind of lost for words right now. This is just outside of the Kuala Lumpur city center, but it is actually one of the most significant religious sites outside of India for the Hindu religion. Everything from these colorful temples on both sides to the massive statue behind me. It's absolutely incredible. It's the world's largest Murugan statue, and it's not in India. Like, that is just so wild. Malaysia is just this incredible melting pot of religions and cultures, cultural backgrounds.
Assuming some sort of blessing is going on. I imagine if this is the second most important Hindu site in the world, a lot of people pilgrim here to Kuala Lumpur to come to this very temple.
And on top of that, there's just a lot of Indian heritage in Malaysia. There's a lot of Indian people living in Malaysia, so it's just so cool that this is here.
And this cave is not like a singular structure. There's little holes in the ceiling, and there's puddles on the ground where like condensation is dripping because it's like so hot outside.
Oh, I didn't even
so
see.
Cool
look at the holes at the top.
Yeah,
wow.
That's kind of crazy. I wonder if one day like it'll collapse.
Hopefully not today.
They keep praying to the Shivas and the what's his name out there?
Murugan.
Murugan. It won't ever fall.
Something about the Batu Caves that has really amazed me is just how welcoming it is, considering it is a very important religious site and there's all these ceremonies going on. There's a lot of non-Hindu people here that are just kind of here to take it all in, learn more, and there's no check-in, there's no admission fee. Usually when we come to these religious sites, there is something like that, but to just be here and to be able to kind of just take it all in, hear all of the ceremonies going on, it's amazing. It's amazingly welcoming, and I feel like I've learned more. Try not to make eye contact, but I just want to stand here for a second. There's a monkey behind me. Very predictably, the way down was a lot better than the way up. I cannot recommend a visit to the Batu Caves. Really, really powerful, religious, spiritual experience. Amazing architecture. Very happy New Year's Eve to everyone out there from Singapore. We came to Singapore because we thought it was probably the best place in the Southeast Asia region to take in New Year's Eve. From what we hear, there's going to be fireworks tonight, there's going to be lights, shows, there's going to be all sorts of festivities, and we just figured what a perfect time to come to Singapore. Now the thing about Singapore, you've probably heard this before, it is very expensive here, so we are not going to be staying all that long. We're just coming in, we're gonna enjoy bringing in the new year, and we're gonna head right out. But in the meantime, we are gonna do some exploring. I've always wanted to come here. It just kind of fascinates me. It's such an interesting setup, kind of this city-state almost. Not a lot of other places like Singapore. We're gonna go ahead and hop on a bus and hopefully we get that front seat. It is gonna be the most affordable way to take in Singapore for us today.
No longer? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That looks so good. So we got the roast chicken with rice. This was $3.50 Singapore dollars. And it was also served with this side of soup, but it just looks like broth and a couple green onions in it. And maybe a potato? I don't know. And I never know, are you supposed to eat this before the meal or is it like a palate cleanser at the end? No idea.
Is it like a chicken broth?
Oh yeah. That's cool.
Just to add a little bit of the chicken flavor maybe.
This is spicy sauce, I got you.
Oh yeah.
Vietnam in 18 days, from top to bottom. If you're new here, we're Max and Sidney, and we've spent the last 3 years traveling all over the world. This is our first time in the country of Vietnam. We are starting off in the city of Hanoi and going all the way to Ho Chi Minh City in the south. We'll be embarking on this journey via trains, planes, automobiles, and even bikes. So sit back, relax, consider giving us a like and subscribe if you're interested in more travel content, and most importantly, enjoy Vietnam.
Welcome to a bit of a rainy morning here in Hanoi, Vietnam. This is the capital city of Vietnam. We have wanted to visit this country for so long, and we are just so excited to be here. We've had smiles on our faces all morning, but the one thing is, as you may know if you've watched the channel before, we are hungry, and when Sydney's hungry, she needs to be fed. Otherwise, it gets a little difficult to go on with the day. So it's really interesting how we hear a lot about banh mi sandwiches, and I always kind of imagine them as like a lunch because it's a really nice French baguette with all this meat in it, and I always assume that's what you have for lunch. But I guess here it's actually more of like a late breakfast, and a lot of times you can get your coffee with your banh mi. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Sydney is over there at Banh Mi Mama. And the other thing that we've noticed so far is all of the restaurants, cafes, street food places, they all have these seats that are quite low to the ground. And I am 6'3", so it's kind of hard for me to sit down. There we go. But once I'm in, it's nice and comfy. So what have we ordered?
We ordered some banh mi and our first coffee of the day.
First of many. I've been very excited about trying coffee in Vietnam because they're mostly known for their iced coffee. There's a few different things to try here. I think this is more of the traditional Vietnamese iced coffee with condensed milk and espresso. And we've noticed too, it's usually just a small glass and they kind of fill it up halfway, maybe a couple ice cubes in there. So my guess is it's going to be very strong. Wow. So much flavor. It's not overly sweet. It's just very, like the bitterness of the coffee cuts through the sweetness. And that's just very, very strong coffee.
That first bite's mostly bread.
there. Yep. Got a little cilantro in there. We'll be trying a lot of banh mi while we're here in Hanoi. And there's a lot of different kinds. This one's a chicken and cheese, which is so different than anything we've seen. Usually it's kind of like either cold cuts or some sort of pork. They have beef ones. They have all sorts. But you have the beautiful French baguette. All of the cilantro and pickled veggies in there. That's what really makes it. Yeah.
Finally. I've been so hungry. Oh, the egg in there is so good. Wow. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Here for you guys. Thank you. We have double shot espresso. One shot inside the cup and one shot outside here. Okay. I would love to recommend you to try the cream first. Okay. And then pour the second shot on top of the cream.
Okay.
Mix it all well before you drink it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Slushy. The coconut is so good.
Cannot recommend Dream Beans enough. It was so cool in there. Such an awesome aesthetic. They told us so much about coffee here in Vietnam and how it's such a big part of the culture here. It is actually the second largest exporter of coffee beans behind Brazil. I had no idea that was the case. Sydney is gonna treat herself to a little nail spa action.
I'm so excited. I haven't got my nails done since we left for this trip. And in my hometown, the little nail place that I go to, they're all Vietnamese. So this is so full circle for me. So let's go.
So I'll be dropping Sydney off at her nail appointment, and I've gotten permission to go to the craft brewery that's just down the street. And I guess
meet you there.
Yeah, you'll meet me there whenever you're done.
It looks so cool. I'm so excited. This area is so like trendy.
It's really cool. One of the many reasons we've been very excited to visit Vietnam is because they do coffee so well here, and apparently they do craft beer quite well here as well. So two of our favorite things to sample. We did not plan this at all.
Oh my god!
Everyone's like, run, run, run.
Can we do 2 tigers? That's so cool. I don't know how we just managed to see that, but we were, a guy just approached us and was like, come to our shop. But the train was like coming down the tracks. We were running to get in place.
I think we were in a little bit of danger. Yeah, so I'm still kind of, like, I'm just starting to realize.
How crazy that was?
Yeah, because, I mean, I wasn't looking back.
I know. Well, I literally didn't know. It was right there. Because as soon as we sat down, within 10 seconds it was passing us.
That's a pretty good deal.
I think they know what we came for because we were just handed a bed of lettuce and noodles without even asking for it. I know, I'm excited to try a new Vietnamese dish because honestly I really only know banh mi and pho, so I'll be interested to like see some more Vietnamese cuisine and see what Bún Chả is all about.
Just a few. Check it out.
Our homestay comes with these 2 bikes, so we're gonna go for a little spin along the river and try to find some coffee. This is so cool. Hoi An is definitely a different speed than Hanoi. This is like a cute little sleepy village town, and I can't believe we're biking through it. Just along this riverbank. It's so picturesque. It's so cute! Okay, we've been on our bike ride for not even 30 minutes and we've just encountered our first scam. We knew what the scam was anyways and we still got fooled. I mean, this nice little old lady is like being fun in the beginning. In the beginning, she's being fun and nice. But she was like, oh, carry this thing. It's the holder where they carry all their fruits. And she put an ad on me and she's like, oh, photo. And then I was just like curious about what fruit she was selling. And so she bagged up this whole thing of fruit. And we're about $8 in the hole right now.
Okay, we've arrived at our coffee shop. Coffee has been one of our favorite features of Vietnam so far, and we're excited to see how Hoi An compares to Hanoi, because Hanoi probably had some of the best coffee I've ever had in my entire life. I'm just gonna lay it out there. So I'm assuming it's gonna be kind of like that here, but as we said, this is more of a tourist place. Prices may be a little more inflated. I could not imagine a more peaceful setting to enjoy a sunset. Walking through, I believe these are tea fields, and just seeing, you can see them from miles each direction, and it's so quiet, so calm. And as the sun is setting, the palm trees in the background, these cool fields, the roosters call. This is pretty cool. We had so much fun biking today, and I think that's going to be a big part of our time in Hoi An, is just being on the bikes, taking it all in. It's nice that you can cover more ground and just see more. to say something?
We're heading to see the Dragon Bridge here in Da Nang. Da Nang? Da Nang?
I think it's Da Nang.
This happens only twice a week on the weekends. And luckily we're here on the weekend. Otherwise, that would have been really bad. For some reason I thought it was going to be like longer. I don't know why. But it was pretty cool.
Is that like the Dubai waterfalls?
Yeah.
Today we are doing something we have never done before. We are taking a sleeper train from here all the way down to Ho Chi Minh City, the largest city in Vietnam.
I hope that they don't come tumbling down in the middle of the night.
There's a few different options on this train. There's first class, second class, and then just a regular seat like we rode in the Amtrak from New York City to Chicago. Now we booked a first class ticket, which gives us a private compartment. Now there are other first class tickets that have 4 beds in a room, but there's only 2 of these compartments on the train. And that's why we paid a little bit more money to have a private compartment. But like I said, we lucked out because there's only 2 of these on each train.
It's been really cool to see the scenery. It's mostly rice paddies and a lot of palm trees, and just, it's so green, so green. I think that's one of the things we loved about when we were in Scotland. We just noticed how green it was. That's something that I've been noticing just in the entire Southeast Asia region, really. I think it's because of the plentiful amount of rain and just all the vegetation. It's just so green.
Taiwan in 17 days, from top to bottom. Well, more accurately, from bottom to top. If you're new here, we're Max and Sidney, and we spent the last 3 years traveling the world and discovering new places. This is our very first time in Taiwan, and we can't wait to immerse ourselves in this unique culture. This island nation straddles the East and South China Seas. It is roughly the size of Belgium, but has a population of over 23 million people. There is so much to see on this little island. But we are focusing on the 3 T's: Tainan, Taichung, and Taipei. This journey will include stunning landscapes, historic temples, delicious local delicacies, and thousands upon thousands of claw machines.
Starting to wonder if this is like a money laundering scheme.
And if anyone can let us know in the comment section, what is up with these claw machines? We're so curious why these things are everywhere in Taiwan. We could not keep ourselves away from these things, despite getting our hearts broken over and over again.
That's gonna haunt me all night. In the claw.
Are they literally just trying to make people addicted to the game?
I'm gonna win Sydney a Snoopy. It's honestly impressive how they really convince you on almost every machine. You look at it and you're like, oh, you gotta be able to get that. Like every single time they convince you that it's gonna be easy. We have arrived and settled in Taichung, Taiwan. This is smaller than the capital of Taipei, but bigger than Tainan, where we spent the past few days. We're really excited to see the differences between here and Tainan, and one of those big differences is they have a lot of night markets here that are open pretty much every day of the week. A lot of times these night markets, you have to time it up because it's only a specific night. So we're very excited. We're gonna check one out and meet our friends Lauren and Scott over there. 7-Elevens in Asia are so much cooler than the US. Honestly, in the US, we try to avoid them. They're not really a destination to check out, but when you come into an Asian 7-Eleven, there's so many fun things to try. They have all of these instant noodles that they can actually warm up for you. And then steamed buns, eggs. I mean, like, you can literally have a meal here. Anything good? You can legally drink on the street here. I wouldn't have guessed that. I don't know why, but I just would have guessed that it would have been illegal. That's fun and exciting. We're gonna go get a beer at the 7-Eleven on the corner. Trying the local brew.
This is hilarious. This is the beer that people drink in my state. It's disgusting. And it's been all around Taiwan. It's crazy.
I haven't seen the Busch Lights though. Isn't that interesting?
What is Busch Light Premium?
It doesn't even see a light though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Look at the bush with the Chinese on it. This is a freedom that we are not able to enjoy. And so I want to enjoy it every time I get the opportunity. Taiwan beer, not bad. They actually sponsor a basketball team here. It's called the Taiwan Beer Leopards. Absolutely hilarious. We've had some really funny Google Translate moments, but this might take the cake as the best one. Face red oil hands coffee.
Yummy.
Yummy. This looks so good though. Oh, look at that. In Taiwan.
That tastes good.
You think these are hand-pulled noodles?
So these two buildings in this memorial plaza. One is the National Theater and the other is a concert hall, I believe. But I've never seen these red pillars with the orange roof. It's incredible. It looks straight out of like Mulan or something. But wow.
The square is huge and there's so much to look at, and with all of the music going on too, this is really cool.
First back. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Love that. Love that.
Come on! Oh my god! How?
I feel you out of it. I did too.
That was the right strategy for sure. We've had this idea for the hot pot since we arrived in Taiwan, all the way to the south in the city of Tainan. But we've been putting it off because we're just a little unsure what we're walking into, but that's gonna be the fun of the night. All I really know for sure is that we're gonna be cooking our own food and we cannot undercook it. It's really important not to undercook it, which I think is why we're so nervous. We have to try this because it's one of the biggest things in Taiwan and we wanna do it while we're here.
Hi.
Doesn't this just look amazing? Like, look at it just simmer.
You made definitely cooked.
Already? Come on, that was cold.
You tasted it?
Here. Alright, this definitely looks cooked. But it was only in there for 2.5, 3 minutes, so. This is so much food.
Yeah. Oh my.
That is beautiful. That's like a seafood tower. This would fit a whole more country.
This kind of a series is called When Hot Pot Goes Wrong because we've got seafood in the pots. Is it cooked?
I don't know, they're all open.
How are you doing, Sid?
There's a lot of meat still on the table. We've got a fish hand over here.
And you have not had much of it, have you?
Ready? Is he looking at you? Yeah. Is he going in? Oh my god.
You know.
Don't kill me, don't kill me. He's got two eyes. Watch out, buddy.
The Philippines are made up of 7,641 islands. So how on earth are you supposed to choose the right one to visit? Well, fortunately, there's more than just one right answer. But the tiny island of Panglao, tucked right underneath the tourist hotspot of Bohol, is an excellent choice if you're interested in seeing some of the most unique wildlife on the planet. Sydney and I spent an entire week soaking up all of the adventurous offerings of Panglao. Whether it's swimming right next to the largest species of fish on Earth,
racing pods of dolphins in a speedboat, snorkeling in the gorgeous turquoise waters, or even discovering species you never knew existed. There is no doubt in my mind that the island of Phang Lao is a wildlife enthusiast's absolute dream. Now, even though it was one of our last excursions that we did, the first one I want to talk about is swimming with whale sharks, because it was without a doubt the most memorable of them all. The day started with about an hour and 45-minute drive from our hotel. The service that we used, that was all included. They picked us up right from there, so that was really nice. And you actually do drive, if you do this one, you do drive off of the island of Phang Lao and onto the main island of Bohol, which is connected through a bridge. It is a really cool drive, very scenic, very beautiful the whole way. Once you get there, you're loaded onto these outrigger boats that are kind of paddled out just not too far from the shore, just a little bit, and then you're immediately immersed with the whale sharks. It was honestly crazy. We had no idea what the process was or how close they would be to us, but as soon as we put our head down and as soon as we started looking through our goggles, I saw a whale shark kind of looming in the distance, and then I looked behind me and there was one right behind me. It's crazy how close you can get. It is a really, really cool experience. These things are massive. Like I said in the beginning of the video, actually the largest species of fish in the world. That is not an exaggeration. And in case you're wondering, the answer is yes. Whale sharks are considered real sharks. They're not considered whales, ironically, but they are considered sharks. Now, you probably guessed this by now, considering we're swimming right next to them, we're so close to them, the encounters that they allow. These things aren't dangerous to humans at all. In fact, they don't have teeth, like you think about a normal shark with the giant white teeth. Whale sharks don't have teeth. They're actually feeder fish. They have this giant mouth. And that was one of the coolest things being that close to them, is to see them open up that giant mouth. They feed on mostly krill and things like that, so they're not even dangerous to other fish necessarily. These things are so incredibly cool to see in person. And it's not just the incredible size of them, they just look cool. I mean, the way that their mouth is shaped, that big giant mouth when they open it up, and the pattern along their skin, those white dots that they have, it's just a majestic creature. We actually took a boat ride off of the island of Phang Lao to a completely separate island, and along the way, we got to see a pod of wild dolphins. Now, this was so incredibly cool for obvious reasons, but I think the thing that sticks out in my mind the most is just how playful the dolphins were. It almost seemed like they were putting on a show for us. They were all kind of together doing their formations like you see, but then we actually saw underneath the boat, they were swimming along with us at the exact same speed and kind of twirling around as they were doing it. But having this encounter in the wild, seeing these guys in their natural habitat, it definitely went through my mind like, wow, what a cool animal and what a clearly intelligent animal. Once we got to the other island, there were a few things in store for us, including a traditional Filipino lunch, which obviously would have been a lot more fun without the rain, but also some really good snorkeling and a chance to see sea turtles. When we went out right away, it was just a light drizzle and it wasn't too bad. It definitely wasn't disrupting the water too much. And we saw a beautiful sea turtle. Although I did see them in Hawaii earlier in our trip around the world, I didn't actually get to see them in the water, snorkeling, and to be that close to them. It was really, really cool. It's so awesome to see how they kind of just glide through the water. Now, I'll give full props to the tour here because they were very conscious about not disrupting or distressing the sea turtle at all. Obviously, it's really important not to touch these things in any way because that can really, really freak them out. And you really should kind of give them a good amount of space too, at least from what they told us. But we felt like we had the perfect balance of being able to see it and be able to enjoy that view, but also be far enough away from it where we weren't causing it any distress in any way.
Today is a big day, a very, very big day for multiple reasons. Today is the day we are going to complete our circumnavigation of the planet. We started this journey 6 months ago in Honolulu, Hawaii, and we'll be returning to Honolulu from the other side. We still haven't really comprehended that, and I'm sure once we get there, it'll start to sink in even more, and then probably the emotions and everything will start hitting us too. But right now, all we're concerned with is making sure that nothing goes wrong today because it is a huge monster of a travel day. So we're just gonna be taking this step by step. First step was getting to the airport. Check, we did a good job. Step 2 was getting our bags checked. Check, we got that as well. Now the next step is going to be getting to our flight on time
and getting to Seoul, South Korea, which is where we're transferring. So it's gonna be about a 3.5 to 4 hour flight up to Seoul, and then from Seoul we're going all the way to Honolulu, which is the longer, I think, 9-hour flight. Now what's really mind-blowing about today is today we are crossing the date line, which means that we will be literally traveling back in time. So I mentioned it was 9:01 a.m., now it's 9:02 a.m. We're gonna be leaving Manila and getting to Hawaii, I think 2 hours before we leave, if that makes sense. It's a 17-hour travel day with both the flights and the layover combined, and that 17 hours is not even gonna count. It's just gonna be the same time and the same day when we get there. So that is really mind-blowing, and I think that's why it's gonna be fun to kind of track it throughout the day, because this is about as close to time travel as we can get. We're gonna be living Friday, February 23rd, 2 times. So let's start the first time, I guess. Flight number 1 boarded. So much more legroom than AirAsia, which we've been using almost exclusively for 2 months. This feels like luxurious.
Our flight out of Manila was our 28th flight of the circumnavigation, counting all connections. We definitely tried to get as many window seats as possible, and the view of the massive Manila metro area did not disappoint. Disappearing into the clouds is something we try to never take for granted. After all, it's a view that Ferdinand Magellan never got to experience during his circumnavigation. Arriving in South Korea was a bizarre sensation. We were sad that we wouldn't have any time to explore Seoul, but we did notice something on the descent that made our wacky connection worth it. For the first time throughout the entire circumnavigation, we saw a dusting of snow on the ground. It was weird not having a winter, and as 2 kids from the Midwest, we must admit that we missed seeing snow, especially on Christmas.
We've arrived safe and sound in Seoul, South Korea. I really wish we were staying longer. This is a place we've always wanted to go to, and I'd love to return for a longer period of time at some point, but today it is just our transfer. And it's kind of funny because we really haven't transferred much this year, I think actually at all, because usually we're just hopping from place to place, so it's always direct. So I don't even really know what to do. I guess we just follow where it says transfer. The flight was about 3.5 hours, so not too bad at all. Didn't really get any sleep yet. I'm gonna try to do that on the next one. We have some downtime here in Seoul, so we're gonna get some work done and hopefully get some food. The craziest thing about flying in here was seeing the snow on the ground. We've been traveling almost exclusively right above the equator, and we have not had a winter. We haven't seen any snow.
It turns out we did get a tiny taste of South Korea thanks to the Matina Lounge. This country is known for its technological marvels, and a beer machine that automatically fills up your glass from the bottom was definitely a highlight of our layover. It seemed as though we were waiting all day for the feeling to fully sink in. The realization that we were about to complete a full circumnavigation of this big blue ball that we all call home. To be honest, it still wasn't hitting us quite yet, which was probably for the best because we were able to get some much needed sleep.
This is it. We are getting on the last flight to complete our circumnavigation. Seoul, South Korea to Honolulu, Hawaii. We are literally going to the same place we were 6 months ago from the other side. This is it. Still hasn't really sunk in, has it? I think we're gonna have to get there first.
It's been 8 hours since we left Manila. We have another 7 to get to our final destination.
Where it will be 2 hours in the past from this morning.
Your seatbelt. Insert the flat end into the buckle. Pull the strap to tighten. To release, lift the top portion of the buckle and pull away. Mahalo nui loa for choosing to fly with us. 즐겁고 편안한 여행 되시기 바랍니다.
Enjoy your flight.
앞좌석 밑이나 선반 속에 보관하여 주십시오. 칸막이벽을 마주하고 있는 좌석열에 앉아 계신 손님 여러분께서는 착륙 때까지 This being the first port of entry into the United States, all passengers will have to clear customs and immigration, so please be sure to have your passports readily available. On behalf of Hawaiian Airlines, and most especially your flight crew, it's been a pleasure serving you today. We'd like to bid you a fond aloha and mahalo for flying with us. 현재 이곳은 오전 10시 48분.
While I can't say we were fully rested during our trek through customs, I think we were finally starting to feel the emotions. Or maybe it was just that we were so excited to be back in Hawaii.
We did it.
Our first time on the island, where the whole circumnavigation began, we got to stay in a beach house with our friends. This time around, my mom came to Hawaii to celebrate the completion of our journey, and I must say she went above and beyond with our accommodation. We stayed at the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Waikiki Beach. It could not have been a better location, with pristine beaches and incredible snorkeling right outside the front door. Throughout our travels, the most difficult balance to achieve was finding a way to capture everything we needed to make a good video, while also making sure to live in the moment and appreciate what we were doing. A great example of this happened during our first day on the beach in Hawaii. We initially went into the water with our snorkel gear, but left the GoPro camera behind. Of course, this is the time that we had a sea turtle swim right alongside us as he munched on some coral. It was an incredible encounter, and actually a lot better than the one that we had in the Philippines. But we didn't have our camera, so we just had to take a mental video. There were a handful of these awesome moments throughout the journey that we just weren't able to capture on camera. But in a weird way, these memories are some of the most cherished ones. It's pretty unlikely that we'll ever have the time to just sit down and watch the entirety of the experience again. But with that said, it's incredible to know that years and years down the road, we will have these memories documented in such a thorough and accessible form.
We're up early this morning. I'm usually not much of a morning person, but because of the time change, I think we woke up at like 6 a.m., so been up for about half an hour, and the sun is just about to rise over the island of Oahu. And you can already see all these beautiful pink colors in the sky. It would be really hard to imagine a better way to wake up than to just take in all of this beauty. The ocean to this side, the sunrise to this side.
As we took my mom around to some of the sites we saw the first time around, while also seeing some new sites, including the Lighthouse Trail.
I think that's it. You see it? Yeah. Yeah, there he is. See him? Whoa!
Which was an incredible experience because we were not actually there during whale season the first time around. We certainly got our fill this time. But we had a lot of time to think about the completion of the circumnavigation, all of the stops we made along the way, and being in a place that we had already been, but coming to it from the other side. It really was so much for our brains to comprehend. But I think the thing that kept going through our minds is that we may not have seen all of the world on this trip, but we did fly all the way around it. And it is just so crazy to think that that is all we know. This spinning blue rock in the middle of infinite space. It is truly all we know as humanity. But something we got to experience firsthand is that although we come from different places, we have different cultures and customs, there is just no denying that as people of this earth, we have so much more in common when compared to our differences. It seems as though our species has been plagued by conflict and war literally since it began, and to this day that is no different. But our greatest hope is that at some point as a world we can acknowledge that we fight over cultural ideas, we fight over resources, we fight over land. But at the end of the day, we all need family, we all need friends, we all need human connection, we all need food, we all make food in our own unique way, we all need water to drink, we all need things to enrich and occupy our minds. And all of those things are the true essence of being human. Sidney and I have been bit by the travel bug, and there is no going back. While the circumnavigation was certainly our most enriching travel experience to date, we have a lot more planned, and we hope to travel the world for the rest of our lives.
Well, the circumnavigation is already complete, but there's something about getting on this flight to the mainland that feels like the real full circle moment. This is one of the most interesting airports I think I've ever been in. Daniel Inouye Airport in Honolulu. It's like partially outside. And unfortunately it's all dark right now, but usually during the day it's really beautiful and you get these great views of the island as you leave. It's always the incentive to actually leave during the day. We are very thankful for the whole journey. We're very tired right now. It's gonna be another kind of restless night as we connect through Phoenix and then go back home to our hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I guess you could say we did 2 circumnavigations. One from Hawaii, one from Milwaukee. It's really been special and we're so happy to have all of you along for the journey. As tired as we are, we wish we could go on another one right away. Any last words?
I'm ready to go home.
I think that says it all.